Okay, I said I was going to go over some things in part 2, and here we are. Okay, first off, let's cover more of what this excellent company is doing. Okay, we already talked about the prices of the images, and we already talked about, how they've made the minimum go up. But do you know that if you're a photographer, it's now a lot harder for you to get your photos approved? I mean, I think that's a great idea. Make those photographers wait months and months to get those photos approved. And also, you should reject most of the photos that the photographers take, because you want to keep that quality right up there. That way you don't clutter up your site with a bunch of new photographs. Just keep the old photographs, and whenever a photographer sends you a new image, just make sure you just throw it out. Because I know for a fact that I used to have my photographs approved years ago, no problem. And now the same photographs, they're not making the grade anymore. So that's a good sign. That's a sign that you've upped your bar, and that only the real pros can now come in. I mean, how else could you get a company like yours to be top-notch except by rejecting 99% of the photographs that are submitted to you? It's kind of like a law school. Unless you reject 99% of the students that apply to your school, you're doing something wrong. Most of the photographs out there are garbage, and you guys have the right approach in rejecting most of them. So I think that's really a good approach on your part, to reject most of the photographs that you get. And I think, in fact, you should raise the bar even higher. Maybe only like 1 out of 1,000,000 photographs that you receive, you will finally approve for sale. No use growing your site. It's just, you probably already have these hard drives full of photographs anyway. So what do you need any more for? After all, I'm not downloading hardly any. So, I think you're on the right approach. Very few new photographs and very few new downloads. And, those download will go down, and then your bandwidth costs will go down. So I think you're right on the right approach right now. Just keep telling people that you only approve like very few photographs, and make sure you reject most of them. And I think that will be the final, I was going to say the final nail, but I think the final feather in your cap. Yeah, I was going to say final nail in your coffin. No, final feather in your cap. Yeah. I get those two confused sometimes. So, but there you go. So you're on the right path right now. Just keep rejecting those photographs and keep making life more difficult for us, and everything will just be wonderful. Is the fact that you've gotten rid of a lot of your photographers. Because I'll go on your website and I'll see a great photo that I really like, and I'll click on it and it'll say no longer available. And I'm like, what? But I love that photo. That's the one I want for my project. Which is what you pay, I believe. Unless you've upped the price lately, which I don't think you have. But I mean, I think that's a great idea. Only paying people 20 cents, that forces a photographer to take a lot of photos. I mean, otherwise your stock photo agency would have very few photos. So I mean, I think that's a great idea, only paying them 20 cents when you charge $500 for a photo, for people to download. I think that's a great idea. I mean, you guys are so generous giving them 20 cents. I mean, who else could be as generous as you guys? I mean, 20 cents is just such a huge amount of money. I mean, compared to the 500 that you're getting. I mean, you guys are really, you're all hard. What can I say? That's why I like your company so much. Of course, I'm not going to say the name of your company because you might want to sue me. So I'm just going to leave it out. I think all people who've been around the block a few times know the name of your company and know what a great job you're doing. Because, I mean, paying photographers 20 cents a photo has got to be one of the most genius level ideas I've ever seen. It's just pure genius. I mean, think about it. If you paid them $500, I mean, they'd take 1 or 2 photos every day, and then that's all. You pay them 20 cents, man, they have to take at least 1,000 photos a day to be able to eat every day. They're going to be busy clicking away. But you guys came up with that idea, so, I got to congratulate you for that one. I would have never thought of something so brilliant as you guys. You know, you guys really are the pros. Well, I love to use the telephone. I love to call you guys up. I love calling you guys on the phone. It is so much fun. Whenever there's a complaint, you guys are so quick to come through for me. I mean, like you put this little recording message that says, I'll be back in 5 minutes. And then I call back in 5 minutes, and I get the same message. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Then I call back again. This time 15 minutes later. Then I call back like an hour later. Then I call back a day later. Heck, I've even called back a year later. Same message. Be back in 5 minutes. I mean, that's a great message because it keeps people thinking that if they call back just one more time, you're going to answer. Of course, fact is, you don't answer the phone. But that's a good thing. I mean, imagine how expensive it would be if every time somebody called you up, you'd pick the phone up. I mean, you'd have to have people 24/7, round the clock, you know, answering telephones. Yeah, that would be really expensive. You might have to charge $100 an image. Oh, wait a minute, you do charge $100 an image. My mistake. I admit I'm wrong. But I mean, you know, that's just one more way to save money. Don't have any operators. Just have a recording and tell people to leave their message after the beep. And remember, if people leave their message after the beep, you don't call them up. Because, you know, you're too busy doing other things like rejecting photographs that photographers send you. You know, stuff like that that's really important. You know, answering customer complaints, I mean, who has time for something like that, you know? I totally agree with you, you know? You don't have time for that, you know? So the important thing is almost never answer the phone, you know? Only answer the phone if somebody is signing up to pay you money. That's the ticket. Now, if somebody's calling up to complain about something, you're busy, you don't know what he's talking about, you don't want to talk to him anymore, you know, I mean, you know, just cut the conversation right there. Oh yeah, you want a refund? Well, I'm sorry. Click. There you go. I mean, only if somebody's going to open up a new account and they can't get their website to work for some reason, then you take their credit card over the phone. Now, that's a good use of, you know, of service people. So you guys are on the right track, I'm telling you. You know, this is the correct path for you to take, is to have a new way of redistributing your workforce, you know, rebalancing your workforce. In other words, get rid of all those people in customer service. What do you need customer service for? Your customer service is excellent anyway. You don't need any people in that department. That's kind of like Marilyn Monroe needing somebody in the beauty department. She doesn't need anybody. She's dead, so I guess I'm right. But I mean, you know what I mean. I mean, hey, you guys are the pros. I mean, I don't have to tell you how to do things. You're already experts. You know, you've made certain that you reject almost all the photographs you get, and now you've made it really difficult for people to download photographs. I mean, you're on the right track. I mean, who could have thought of something so brilliant? Except you, of course. So, I mean, what can I say? You're batting 1,000, and keep up the good work. I mean, you know, a few more years of this, and I'm sure that you'll have nirvana, which means no downloads, no new photos, and lots of money coming in.